Well, good morning, YouTube. Lofty's here. Pop down to Cornwall, Kawasaki. I love it down there. What better place could there be in Cornwall than sitting in the sun, waiting to take a bike out? Look at this beauty behind me. What do you reckon? 2026 Kawasaki KLE 500. Been waiting to ride this for a while. Anyway, if you're looking forward to seeing Lofty ride the 2026 KLE 500, you stick around. Well, good morning, YouTube. Cornwall Kawasaki KLE 500. Look at this. Isn't this a good looking bike? Nice and tall. I think this is going to be ideal for us lofty bikers. Yes, let's give this a bit of a ride. A nice, quiet, reassuring burble. How about that? It's a standard 180 throw, that is. Old fashioned, but very nice. Let's give it a bit of a go. Okay, so we're rolling. First thing I notice is the bars are nice and high, the seat's quite low, and the foot pegs feel quite forward. It's a bit like sitting in an armchair. It's very comfortable. So let's give it a bit of thrash. No cruise control and none of that nonsense. You can fit one, I believe, aftermarket. The Viridian one will fit. Anyway, let's just feel those brakes, take it down the lane. So here we go down the lane, bit of shade, that's nice. I shall not be taking this bike off-road. I don't think it would be fair on the dealership. It's a brand new bike, well, it's had a few rides, but I don't think it'd be fair, to be honest. So we're going to take it down a few back roads, a few lanes. We'll get a bit of dual carriageway in as well. I've got to say, it's a nice, comfortable place to be. If somebody was looking for a NX 500 and they're a bit too tall for it, I think this could be your bike. Seriously, yeah. Because I love the NX, but I find it far too dinky, much too small for me. But this is a much bigger bike all round. Tall seat, fairly comfortable, enough leg room for me. I'm not complaining about leg room. We've got a 21-incher on the front. And we've got fairly compliant suspension. In fact, it feels a bit like my Hemi in some ways. It's set up quite well. It's got a 17 on the back, which is it's raised a few eyebrows. I'm not sure why, but 21 on the front, 17 on the back. I don't really think the person who's going to be buying this is going to be buying it to take it off-road, do you? Realistically. Anyway, best thing we can do, before we give it a bit of thrash, is have a good look at it. Well, good morning, here we are. Lofty's here with a big KLE. Big, tall bike. Fairly narrow, not too bad. Fairly high. Sling a leg over it, shall we? There we go. So as you know, I'm 6'5", 16 and a half stone. And this is a tall bike. It's lovely. Just nice for Lofty. So the suspension's fairly compliant. Nice and soft. Let's put my feet up. So we got some, it's not really what I call a cutaway, but it's plenty. Any length of knee will fit in there. So both feet on. It's a bit of a bench style, but it's okay. You can slide forward, slide back, you can stand up. In fact, the standing up position is really good. The bars are high. It's got good ergos. As I said, the pegs are slightly forward of your bum, which I like. Little dicky screen. It looks great, doesn't it? Should we have a close-up? Okay, what do you think, KLE? This is the SE. It's got the posh dash. It's nice, isn't it? It's got everything going for it. A lot of the people talk about this low bash plate, and I can see, yeah, when you get down, although it's got a 21 on the front, fairly long forks, that bash plate's low. It's for the exhaust pipe. Comes down and low. Cannon launcher's not bad, it's about the right angle. You get some bags and boxes on that, easy peasy. There we go, chain drive, 6-speed. Let's have a close-up of the dash. Right, I'm not sure you can see because we've got quite a bit of shadow. This is the generic Kawasaki TFT. Now I like it, it's great. It's got a tacho across the top, big gear indicator, big mile an hour indicator, big time. Look at that, it's all easy to see. It's got some form of Bluetooth connectivity. You've got a range to empty, you've got a couple of trips, you've got the temperature, idiot lights down the side. You can't really say more than that, can you? One thing that you can reset the trips is with these push buttons. Old school, but I love old school. It doesn't say it's bad because it's old school, does it? Just coming out, we've got a little screen. It is adjustable, but you do need an Allen wrench. You can adjust it in 3 ways. Lovely little bar. This is a great addition. Anybody who puts a sat nav or a telephone holder, that is brilliant. Well done, Kawasaki. Like it a lot. So we're coming out. We got factory fitted handguards, aluminium with a plastic outer, brilliant. Hydraulic brake, non-adjustable. This is a simple affair. It's a start-stop button and it's got a push to activate it. Coming across, as I say, these are the risers. Let me show you. Look how big the risers are. 3-4 inches, they're brilliant. Coming round, we've got a key, fabulous, we got a key. Coming out, decent mirrors, nice shape, they're not bad at all, are they? We've got the same handguards this side, cable operated clutch, very light, 1-finger operation, non-adjustable. Pass light at the front, high and low, ABS. You can switch the ABS off. You push it once, then you press and hold till the light comes on and the ABS goes off. Unfortunately, it's not a rear ABS off, it's both, I believe. Coming out, hazards, horn, indicator. Not a bad little indicator, pretty good. In general, I think the ergos, the fit and finish, the clocks, everything's good. Shall we have a listen to it? Here we go from the cockpit. Not bad at all. And from the rear pipe. So here we go, stats. The original KLE 500 was discontinued 07. It was a proper workhorse, it did the job. This is a bigger tool all round. So we've got the 2026 Kawasaki KLE 500. A brand new 451cc, 8-valve, double overhead cam, liquid cooled, 180-degree parallel twin. I believe it's lifted from both of the other 500 models, but that's not a problem. It's well proven. I don't think you'll be having any issues with reliability. It's an A2 compliant, 44 brake horsepower. It's got 29 foot-pounds and a 16-litre fuel tank, and it should average around 51 miles to the gallon, which will give you a tank range of around 200 mile. It's 195 kilos wet, and it's got a very lofty 870 seat height. I believe there are options, but this is the 870. 43mm upside down forks. We've got tubes. We've got tubed wheels. Personally, I prefer the tubeless. It's one thing that puts me off on bikes. It's a 90-90-21 on the front. We've got a single 300mm disc with a Nissin 2-pot standard style caliper. Coming round the back, we've got a nice little shock shield. I do like that. And if you can see just inside there, we've got a single monoshock. It's a vertical shock with a drop link on. Lovely jubbly. There's the cannon launcher. We've got IRC trail winner tyres on. Never heard of them. That must be some sort of Indian or Chinese tyre. I do not know. But on the rear is a 140/70/17. This is the thing that's a bit contentious. Generally, if you're looking for off-road sort of compliance, you go 21 on the front and 18 on the back. 17's a bit strange. Plus, if it was 18, it'd probably give it more ground clearance. We're running a single 230mm disc with a 2-piston caliper. Lovely jubbly. As I said, it's not loud. It's got that 180, which was your typical, all parallel twins came with 180. I don't really understand what it means is. Well, with a 180, it means both pistons are going up at the same time and coming down at the same time. With a 270, there's a bit of a kick. So as one goes up and fires and comes down, then the other one goes up quickly. It's sort of a da-dum, whereas this is a dum, da-dum, da-dum. Dead simple. Just thought I'd say that. Anyway, shall we get the helmet on and give it a bit of thrash? Here we go, a bit of off-roading. I'm only joking. So the one thing I didn't say was the cost. What's it going to cost you? Now, the standard model's got an LCD dash. It's about £6 grand, 5.9. This is the posher model, the SE. I like this colour and I like everything about it. So the SE, is coming in at about 6.5 grand. It's not bad, is it? It's compatible with everything around it. It's a lot cheaper than the BMW, and from a lofty person's point of view, I've got to say, I do prefer this. It's so much more comfortable. At the end of the day, an A2 compliant 44, 45, 46 brake horsepower engine, none of them are going to be very different, are they? They're all going to be similar. I did find the BMW buzzy, and I find the NX small. I'd put this somewhere in between. It's not an out-and-out road bike, it's not an out-and-out off-road bike, it's somewhere in between. So I think the best thing we can do here at United Downs is turn up the lane and give it a bit of thrash. Here we go, second gear. Okay, so it noticeably spins up quicker than my Hemi. The front wheel rides the bumps in a similar manner. I think they've got the suspension more or less about right, you know. It's not too stiff and it's not too soft. I think most people who are going to be buying this, they're going to be riding B roads, A roads. I don't think they're going to be motorway blasting. I will say the screen ain't too bad. We'll see what it's like on the dual carriageway. Yeah, you can drop it in okay, that's not bad. I'm getting a fair amount of wind noise, but nothing nasty. Yeah, it's okay, that is. So going down the hill. So while we're going down the hill, we'll just slow it down a touch. Should we do a brake test? Rear brake. Okay, so the ABS on the rear is very, very crude. It was skipping and hopping a bit. It wasn't what I'd call fabulous, but it was okay. So similar speed, front wheel. Right, we got a lot of fork dive, but it was effective. Not bad. So here we go, back up to 40. Nothing about brakes. So an emergency stop's not bad, it's okay. The back wheel tends to lift as you've powered the front end down. So it does ease it off the back tyre, so you do tend to lose a bit of grip. As I say, some bikes have ABS that cuts in too soon. I think this is probably a little bit late on the rear, but the front end's fine. But you do get quite a lot of fork dive. Down to the junction. We're going to take a right at the bottom. Yeah, I'm feeling, you know sometimes when you first get on a bike, you just know if you're going to be comfortable or not. And I've got to say, slow riding. That's easy peasy. You could off-road on this, no trouble. You could trials ride it if you wanted to. Slow riding's good. Yeah, you just know if something's going to be sort of comfortable or you're going to be like it. All I can say is, within a minute of me getting on this Kawasaki, I thought, I could ride this. If somebody said, would you like one of these as a long-termer? I'd ride it every day. I wouldn't feel, nothing at all. Brilliant. Cracking little bike. And I do think when you're taking bikes out, it's that first impression sometimes. You know yourself. You can look at a bike and you can say, oh, that's nice. You can look at a bike and say, oh, I ain't keen on that. But when you get on it and you sit behind the screen and put your hands on the handlebars and your feet on the pegs, I honestly think you know yourself if it's something you could live with. That's why I would never ever buy a bike without riding it. Because you've got to ride it. You've got to. Otherwise, you don't know. You don't know whether you're going to get that feeling. Anyway, we're in a 30. What we're doing, 33. Take our time, nice and steady. I'll drop it into fourth gear just to control it a bit better. So, smooth, very little vibration. Comfy place to be. It's one of those bikes you feel like you're sitting in rather than on, if you know what I mean. The seat's not the widest, but it's fairly comfortable. That's a bad place to stand and have a chat, isn't it? Right on the crest of a hill. So we'll just nibble past it. So here we are, we're entering the National. So spin it up in fourth. Into fifth, into top. So 60 mile an hour. I'm getting a few tingles through the seat, but it's not what I'd call buzzy as such. The handlebars are fine. It's maintaining a nice speed. Gearbox is lovely. I don't think it needs a quick shifter as such. I get a bit of vibration through the pegs. Oh, that's bad luck. Here we are back in the lanes. Got a bit of a ford here. I doubt it'll be much water. No, it's a shame. Would have been nice if it had been 3 foot deep. The road surface up here is not the best. And it's busy. How about that? You never see a car here. Thank you. These are the sort of roads when you find out what the suspension's really like. Okay, if you're pressing on A roads and you're giving it a bit of stick, you're probably on the wrong bike. You know, if you've got to go to work and you need to get down a few back lanes, do a bit of scratching, get yourself there. You want something that's versatile, and to be fair, so far I've found this quite versatile. Do you know, I've never seen a car on this road before in my life, and I've seen 5 just. Unbelievable. Yep, the suspension, I think it's nice, plush. I think the best thing we can do is give it a bit of a razz on the dual cab this way, don't you? It's only fair. So we're in a 30. I'm going to take it round the island. Not this little dot, the big island, the proper island. Here it is. Just check we're clear. We're clear from the right. So here we go. Just drop it in. Keep your hand on the right hand side to give it a bit of counter. Send it round and round and round. That's lovely. Yeah. These tyres, I know they're sort of a 50-50 style tyre, off-roady tyre, but to be fair, they're not bad. So National, 70. Yeah, doddle up to 70, absolute doddle. So here we are, I'm getting quite a bit of wind noise, but I've got to say, I'm getting no nasty buffeting, none at all. That's pretty good, that is. Pretty damn good. I'm just going to drop the throttle off now and see what it does, slowing down under its own momentum. So there we go. We're approaching the 50. All I've done is throttled off. 6th gear, there we go, 50. Into 4th. I'm going to take it back up the hill so as you can see what it's like pulling up a steep hill. Yeah, it's good on islands. Nice big tall wide bars. Okay, so here we go. It's 50 at the start. So there we are, 50 in 4th, up a steep hill. I'm going to keep it in 4th, see what the roll-on's like. That's not too buzzy. I'm getting a bit through the seat. Here we go, I'm going to slowly squeeze it in 4th. There we go, up to 70 in 5th gear. holding 70 up the hill. Yeah, that's good. Anyway, I'll just throttle off. So, what do you think of this little bike then, eh? I always say it about now, have you enjoyed this little video? If you have, click on that like, subscribe, ask me a question. The more interaction I get with my subscribers and watchers, viewers, the better the channel does. As you know, everybody's saying it. YouTube have altered the algorithms and we're all struggling a little bit. It's difficult to get views, to get yourself out there. And if this new legislation with the government comes in, it could spoil it altogether. Okay, so we're on our way back towards Cornwall, Kawasaki. Cracking road, this, the Falmouth Road. We're in the trees. You go from dark to light, dark to light. It's ever so technical. If you can master this road, you'll master most roads in Cornwall. And I've got to say, I'm smitten with this bike. I really do like it. I think, I'm going to say this now, for a bigger bloke or a bigger girl, if you're 5'10", 6 foot tall, 6'4", I do think out of all the small middle range bikes, this is probably the best twin. I like my Hemi, but this has got pros, and the Hemi's got pros. There's pros and cons for both. But I've got to say, if you're a bigger person, this is like a big, tall, comfortable NX 500. So if you don't want to go Chinese, you don't want to go for the CF Moto 450, or you don't want to go BMW, or the KTM's a bit wild for you, I've got to say, I think this has got a niche of its own, especially for us bigger lads. Seriously, this is one hell of a comfy bike. But you've got to get out there and ride them for yourselves. We've caught the traffic up again. It's a shame, innit? That's the problem when bikes ride along so easy. You're sitting there doing the speed limit, the national doing 60, and all of a sudden you catch everybody up stuck behind a lorry. But anyway, who cares? So here we are, back at Cornwall, Kawasaki. If you're down this neck of the woods, pop in. They're ever so friendly, I can't fault them. Here we go. Thank you, Mark, for lending me the bike. So, to sum up, this is the Lofty Biker. He's saying ta-ra for now. Ta-ra.